Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're taking a look at another seasonal championship to see what it's got in store for us. So yeah, this is GT1 Legends, so we're going to be in A-Class 90s Retro Supercars, and yeah, we're getting there in the newly added to the game Subaru Legacy RS, also from the 90s, and yeah, although it's not new to the series itself, it's still at least nice to have this in this game finally, because yeah, it's a cracking car. Really enjoyable saloon car with all-wheel drive and plenty of power and rally pedigree to go with it.
Turn sharp right.
It's just a shame that we don't also have the Mitsubishi Galant VR4 to go along with this, because they were the two premier all-wheel drive saloon cars of the early 90s. So yeah, a bit of a shame, but especially since it's nice to compare the two of them, but still better having one than none. So yeah, let's get to this championship and see what it has in store for us. Now you can get this Subaru by getting 20 points in the current season. So obviously doing this championship will get you a quarter of the way there, so well worth doing these.
You have arrived at your destination.
Easy enough to get these points, and yeah, pretty fun as well. So we're going to be up north for the other two, but we're at the beach for the first one, so let's see what we're going to be racing in. So yeah, we've got 3 Ferraris to choose from. We've got the god-awful Ferrari F50, which is ugly as sin, and nowhere near the Formula 1 car for the road that they planned it to be. Then we've got the amazing Ferrari F355, and then the Ferrari F512TR, bit of a icon of the late 80s, early 90s. And then we've got the Jaguar XJ220. Again, not quite the car that Jaguar planned it to be. It was originally supposed to have a V12 engine and all-wheel drive, but still a really great car came out of it regardless. And then we've got the Lamborghini Diablo SV, easily my favourite car here on this championship. Got plenty of power. I think it's got the second most powerful engine here, yeah, only behind the XJ220 by 12 horsepower. Not much less in the way of torque either, but yeah, still a fantastic supercar. Probably the last of the classic Lamborghinis in terms of it being not really practical at all and really not meant for anything other than showing off. Then we've got the Lotus Elise GT1, proper GT1 car this, not much in the way of weight but plenty of power. And finally the Porsche 911 GT2. Again, another really powerful car, and again not weighing that much either. So yeah, we're going to start off with the Lamborghini because, like I said, it is my favourite car here. Big 5.7 litre V12 engine. I think it weighs, yeah, it's the second heaviest here, but then again that's no surprise, it is a Lamborghini. But yeah, still plenty of speed, handling, acceleration and braking on the go. Launch isn't the best, but then it is a rear-wheel drive V12 Lamborghini, so no surprises there. So yeah, let's see what it can do. I love it in this colour as well, by the way. This is one of those cars that looks great in so many different colours. Also looks pretty good in yellow. Pure white as well, so yeah, also even black, which usually isn't the case for Lamborghinis because a lot of the detail is in their bodywork, and obviously being in black will erase some of that detail, but it's absolutely menacing in that colour as well. Alright, let's see what the second most powerful car in this championship can do. The best sounding engine though on this championship. One of the bigger cars to deal with on this championship as well. It's hardly a skinny car. For something that's 25 years old now, it's still a fantastic handling car. It's also the last rear-wheel drive Lamborghini as well. The all-wheel drive from here on out, and even there was even a version of this that had all-wheel drive as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame that Lamborghini don't do more mass-produced rear-wheel drive cars anymore. I can see why they don't, but still going back to try. I know they've done some limited production rear-wheel drive drive cars, but never anything on the mass side. I'm surprised we're struggling to keep up Lewis Lotus in the corners because it's got great handling, but we've definitely got more power even if we're heavier. It's coming right back at us. No playing around now on our last lap. Building up a bit of a lead, thankfully. Sheer power of this is just something to really be struggle to come across, even though obviously if you've got better handling, might not be enough to overcome, you know, the 180 horsepower deficit and the 150, 160, maybe even more than that in the way of torque. Probably closer to 200, so well-balanced car that can handle it on that kind of limit, because those big wide tyres do have a limit and they can let go at any time, but the chassis and the stability of the car and the weight that is distributed manages to hold that kind of slide really nicely. So yeah, fantastic car. Not the fastest time though, somehow last place got a 1 minute 14.625, but still cracking car, and all importantly got us a 20 points. So yeah, let's move on to the second race and see if we can replicate this success. So we're on a bit of a tighter circuit for this one, so yeah, obviously handling is going to be a priority, but also lightweightedness and nimbleness as well. Ferrari F355 is tempting. Yeah, it's a little bit less on the handling front than the Lamborghini there, and hell, even the braking isn't quite as much, but it is a lighter and smaller car, so that is a little bit tempting. And yeah, 375 horsepower is not bad. But yeah, then also we've got the Elise GT1, which is even better in terms of handling and braking than the other two cars that we've looked at just now. So yeah, but then we've also got the 911 GT2, which yeah, is still a pretty damn good car as well. But I feel since I don't think I've ever really raced the F355, I feel like giving this a go. No, it's not the best in terms of handling or braking, and the acceleration is a little bit on the downside as well, especially in comparison to the Lamborghini, but then it does have less in the way of power and torque. But it is lighter, and yeah, should be a little bit more nimble to drive as well, so hoping that it can do well. Because yeah, like I said, I've not driven it before much on this game. Don't think I've raced it in anything like a championship before either. If I have, it's completely going out of my head, but yeah, let's hope it can do well. It's a fantastic car. Again, a bit of an end of an era to the Ferrari brand, or Lamborghini in a lot of ways. Never get anything as small as this again from Ferrari. This is another one of those classic cars that I wish I could review. Can't even see the engine, unfortunately, so puts me off wanting to do so. But hopefully the new Forza Motorsport game will change that. Because there are a lot of classic cars that we've never had a fully viewable version of. This, the classic Mini, I don't think we've been able to see the Beetle in full before, which you would have thought was something that you'd be able to see. Yeah, seems like a lot of what you'd consider classic cars, or cars that are never going to be not on a Forza game, would be more, you know, viewable, more customizable in some regards, more, you know, just able to be seen in a way that it would be in real life, but just not the case for some reason. The biggest surprise for me is the classic Mini. I'm still surprised that we've never had a fully viewable version of one of those. Given, you know, we were in Britain in the previous game, I would have thought of all games that would have been the one where that happened, but for whatever reason that was not the case. Which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, despite the handling not being as good as the Lamborghini on this, it's definitely feels like a more nimble car. Not clattering into walls, for instance, as much for starters. Great sounding V8 as well. One of the few pre-2000 Ferraris that actually sound like a more modern one. So I can say a lot of modern Ferraris now have high revving V8 engines, so a bit of a start really, I guess you could say, to that trend. And there we go, another win. Not quite as convincing as the previous one because we were quite as far ahead, but still a win as a win. And again, that gives us the all-important 20 points. So now we've got 40. We're 8 ahead of the second place and 12 points ahead of third. So yeah, let's get on to the final race and see if we can win this championship. Right, for this third and final race, we're on another small circuit. So we're gonna go finally for the Porsche 911 GT2. So yeah, something that's not Italian, because the last two have been, but yeah, as you can see in terms of handling and acceleration and braking, it's pretty formidable, more so even than the Lamborghini there. As you can see, handling is slightly better, acceleration's better, launch is better, as well as braking. So yeah, not going to be quite as high end on the top end on the speed side, as you can see, but this is a small circuit, so yeah, the fact that we've got 106 horsepower less isn't really relevant because we still weigh very little, and yeah, we're not really ever going to get up to the kind of top speed that this car has either in such a small circuit. So yeah, top speed really isn't going to be relevant in this, but what is relevant is going to be the handling and the braking, and yeah, this is pretty good for the time. Again, another real classic car, 27 years old, but yeah, thoroughly modern in some ways. So yeah, especially in terms of the launch, because obviously it has that flat six engine over the rear wheels, giving us plenty of launch grip off the line. But obviously having a rear engine does also mean it's got some oversteer that needs to be taken into account. But it is ridiculous how quick this car actually is compared to obviously the cars that have even more power. shows that striking a good balance between a lot of power and very little in the way of weight. Produces great results. The handling characteristics of this car are a little bit hairy to get used to. Obviously it has a lot of oversteer, but then at times it can have understeer. It's something you've got to be wary of. Yeah, I figured the Lotus would eat us up there. It's a lot more of a composed vehicle when it comes to the handling. We do have more power even if we are a little bit heavier. As you can see, that does make up for it. Mostly. Hell did you come from, Diablo? Definitely a closer race this time round. Balls. Didn't realise we were coming up to the last corner there. Still should have enough points to keep the first place position because we are on the podium again. First, third does seem like a good overall average there. Yes, we do. Only by 6 points, but that is more than enough to keep the first place position. So yeah, the Lamborghini came in second there, and the F50 came in third. GT1 in fourth, and another SV in the fifth place position. So yeah, fun championship, but obviously crucially it gives you 5 points towards the season to get that Subaru Legacy we're in at the beginning, and yeah, more importantly, it gives you 5 points towards the series overall, to give you 5 points towards either getting the BMW M4, or if you've already got that, like I have, then it gives you 5 points towards getting the Mercedes 300 SLR, the classic 50s racer, which if you wanted to buy, I think it's a stupid amount on the auto show. So yeah, it's again well worth getting those points in for the series overall. And it's only 160 points, so you only need to get 40 per season, and you'll get that so easily. So yeah, nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.